iBUYPOWER over Manajuma, though it kills me to say. I would be so much happier if Manajuma won this one, but again, I'm just that caster guy. You're watching CEVO-TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Launders. iBUYPOWER faces off against Manajuma. iBUYPOWER leads the series 1-0, and that means Manajuma's up against the wall. They've got to win this one. And we have dualies. Steel has dualies, to be exact. 4 players have lined up in the lobby to ramp, and they want to find that long kill at the player at the bottom of the ramp. Still, I'm fascinated by the fact that we have a purposeful duelie by step in. AZK's got a really handsome looking shot. Miniker gets dropped with 2 bullets, and it forces Steel to push. Charging through, retreating, and backpedaling. D-Born gets dropped by a huge shot by Steel, and also drops the bomb. 3 alive for Manajuma. And I wish on this map that on T side they would win this round. It looks like it's near impossible.
Yeah, Kanji does have some favorable positioning right now, being in lower, but he's either got to blow up glass right now or make some noise to get around.
Desi is thinking about pushing through, and he is he's waiting for teammates to make decisions. AZK has another one that we miss. In Skadoodle, 2 taps for Shroud. No casualties taken at all for Manajuma, and maybe not another one still. Desi explodes in a plume of blood. 1-0 for iBUYPOWER. Man, they cannot catch a break.
Yeah, AZK just was just huge in that round, even though it was 2K. Shadow my life on Kanji. Yeah, so he busted out the glass and lower, went up from ramp, and then just got 1 tapped in the face by AZK. Just didn't really care. So they almost had that ramp take, which would have made it a 3-on-4, which I guess is a little bit better. But instead, AZK just shut it down. No questions asked.
Another round of dualies for Steel as he sees D-Born running out. Excuse me?
With the knife.
What? What?
I think that just happened.
That really... What was the thought process?
I'm not sure. He even got shot and didn't do anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our
iBUYPOWER.
analysis. Yeah, that's our analysis for that round. So we don't have that early buy on T side, which obviously is a little bit harder to do, since as you mentioned, you would save 2, and then if you got a plant buy, they obviously couldn't do that round. D-Born didn't have the bomb in that position, did he? So yeah, I just don't understand. But anyways, they're gonna try to drop some guns here, and looks like a pretty standard opening.
Swag has the first, an opener on Miniker, who was in the hut, and Steel wanted to do the little twist into the hut that you could probably give him some tutoring on. Desi's going to eat that nade, down to 16 HP. Doesn't panic, however, but wanted the headshot. Next in, Steel has 3. Just a rotating, whirling dervish with the Swag 7. He cannot be beat, and that was too clean. I mean, if you're Steel, you feel great, but if you're Manajuma, the damage done psychologically is huge.
Yeah, psychologically it's huge, and also financially, not against Manajuma's, but for Steel, it's a lot of money. So they didn't drop any guns for the first 3 rounds, and that was their goal. If they weren't going to win the rounds, to at least drop 5 to 6 guns across those 3 rounds. They couldn't do that. So now they're going to be playing against a really like economy heavy CT side, and Steel still only has his Swag 7. So that maybe might make a difference.
A lobby hold and a drop. D-Born is underneath already. Our number 9 is moving down to the double doors. Still, the fight is above, and Steel claims Desi.
Wow, from heaven.
Yeah, from heaven. Long-range swag, and I think everybody's fallen victim to the long-range swag kill before. Daze does the double peek, makes it out, realizes he doesn't want to try the triple unless he gives away his life here. 1 man up is iBUYPOWER, and they are looking good. They're still in their stock positions. Just know that this guy, D-Born, looked away at the wrong moment. His advantage now lost to alive for Manajuma, who's beginning to fall apart in this round. The fight with AZK continues, and he'll come back around, find the headshot on Shroud, who drops the bomb right in the lap of him, and Kanji now comes up from lower to go retrieve it, but surely his chances are totally shot.
Yeah, wow. I mean, can you look any stronger? A total of 0 kills in 4 rounds for Manajuma.
How did it start last time? It started a total of 2 kills, and then this time 0.
Yeah, so definitely a downward trend. Not something that you want. Fortunately for them, it was largely in part to the pistol round, and also fortunately they are starting on the T side, so they can lose these rounds. Not that they should be or that they want to be, but they can.
Are we watching a complete collapse here, or are we too early to proclaim doom?
I'd say too early.
All right, well, AZK is on fire, so he's going to pick up a double. That leaves how many for him? A triple on the round, and Daze picked up 2. 5-0 for the iBUYPOWER squad, and I'll pull up the scoreboard one more time to emphasize no kills whatsoever for Manajuma.
Yeah, AZK in that anger mode, going 10-0, and he's got all the stars too. Although they're not as valuable as they would be on rifle rounds, but he's yeah. So now Manajuma want to start winning rounds here. I'd say they definitely that's going to be their plan. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. So there's a lot to be said for this round that I don't have a lot to say about.
Out of control is the issue of the day, and I'd like to think that we're about to see a set piece here. You see D-Born lining up a smoke for his teammate Irakanji, and that will be probably for the garage. Another set piece here. He's lined himself up, trying to find a position that somebody might be standing, and Dazed, well, he got tagged by a little. He got like a little paper cut, 3 HP, but it seemed like a fairly calculated move. Special thanks to our partners over at Game Servers and CSGO Lounge for helping us with our productions each and every day. So we have the T sign moving through, run through backward. Daze is above them in the upper rafters, and Swag joins the party by coming up through the secret. He has a double and loses the control of his M4 to back out into secret, and AZK in the lobby finds Minicur. Finally, the first kill registered for Manajuma, but it's probably not really too much of a victory here as Irakanji comes backwards while reloading and gets swagged in the back. iBUYPOWER still perfect, 6-0.
Yeah, I honestly still say there's still room for them to win rounds and not be too worried. Like, obviously, the potential for them is a total of 9 rounds, and they are buying this round. The really big issue is that they're going to have to go up against iBUYPOWER, who are 10k apiece, literally, and have to break down that economy, all while winning rounds on the unfavored side, which is such a battle. You know, you said they were going for outer control, and it looked like they're posing for it, but they didn't actually get it, and they didn't even really put all their efforts into it. They still split up and went lobby a little bit. So again, a lot to be said about this round. That's new that they haven't tried it.
D-Born just did a classic 1.3 jumping pre-fire on AZK, and he managed to finally get a kill. There's 2 as Steel pushes through and gets a little bit over-aggressive. Swag is behind them and pushing through the lobby, but probably too far away to do any significant damage as the T's have already made their way into the lower bomb site. Daze is here in the vents, claims Shroud, and for the most part, it's a 3-on-3 even split. I did ban one person who asked for a purposeful DDoS. Do that again, and I'll ban all of them. 6-0 is our scoreline. And I also saw somebody ask for the Cole versus Netco game. We will certainly get to that if this one ends as quickly as it seems it might end. And wait for this one, because that one is on another channel currently. 2 versus 3. Minicur and Desi with the bomb planted. Minicur sees that rifle, blows away Swag. That's a good start. Here's that drop. He closes the door on Skadoodle, pre-fires him, and with a no-scope, finally a piercing kill that leaves Daze by himself versus just Minicur, and he'll stick the defuse.
Nice.
Finally, Manajuma heaves a huge sigh of relief. 6-1.
Yeah, and definitely, not like a round that they kind of had. I mean, they needed to win that round, and they did. So good for them. But they've still got a huge long road to walk, and it's still a ton of money on the board. Almost 8k apiece, 50 for a couple of people because of those buys. But they've got a lot of bank to break right now.
Let's show you exactly how much bank to break. 83, 81, 83, 57, 57. This is feeling pretty rich, especially this early into the half. And Manajuma has a road to travel that is a bit uncomfortable, knowing how CT side of this map is. Steel is consistently playing with the Mag 7. I can't fault him for it. He's had consistent success here. It's not like he had to save, but if nobody can beat you with the Mag 7 point blank, then why swap away from it?
Yeah, certainly. And it's not even, it's a tactical thing too. His spot in where he's playing in front of Hut, that's almost like the best way to kill someone. In terms of you take 1 shot, they have to take 3 or 4.
We're gonna have that engagement right now as Steel is looking to climb up over the entry fraggers. Whether they be from the Squeaky or the Hut, he will be ready above them. The fire underneath stops the pushers from the squeaky, and he thinks that somebody may be coming from the window, and he'll push down into the smoke behind. He just bumped into his opponent, turns on him, kills him, and Miniker's down. While he was surprised, AZK turns down, finds the player on the site, is sprayed down from multiple locations, 2 versus 2. Swag and Skadoodle versus D-Born and Irakanji, and Skadoodle might push the smoke that just dissipates and find a planter there for him. So that means D-Born versus 2. He's got to make a big play. He's coming back up. Oh my god. Why? Why? He had the bomb. Why?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they didn't know where Swag was, obviously. He was trying to make a play. Maybe catch Scoodoodle out of position. Scoodoodle, of course, thinking Y as well and trying to take advantage of that. But it was definitely the wrong one. Too bad that happened. But they definitely wanted that round 2, and they are doing pretty good. I mean, we had Steel, like, shut down one of their only entrances, which is Squeaky, and they still managed to have a pretty clean entrance into the site. We saw them take ramp once, we saw them take inner once, and it was on rushes. We'll see if they do that again.
D-Born sprints out trying to hit a long-range Glock shot. That didn't work out for him, as Swag will drop him, and the rest of them control lobby, probably to push through ramp. And the idea was probably to wrap, maybe to seize hell, maybe to meet up at ramp, but we'll never know at this point. 4 still will face off against AZK, who's just been phenomenal. Just been really, really good. They drop back to the hell. He gets dropped. Skadoodle waits, takes up the position of his teammates, and I love the okie doke that they do on Nuke. They swap out one player who's weak. They call that guy's lit. They turn the corner, and they find Ska waiting with Op.
Yeah, definitely. And it's those fast rotates that are going to get you those trade outs that are going to win you the round. You know, one of the worst things is when you take ramp, you get downstairs and there's someone in control, someone in either vent, and then someone hanging out in toxic with the 4th player in dark spot. So that's you know, those tag teams, as you mentioned, are what's going to help them trade out without losing too many players on T side, spreading themselves too thin. But AZK with the hard carry right now.
Real hard carry. Fed and already level 6 with ulti. Death from above! Steel drops down, finds Shroud, and doesn't even let him out the door. May approach the smoke and find more people charging him. Nobody sees him? Okay, finally, D-Born checks the corner. He ran right past him, and had he waited a second longer, maybe Steel would have come to his senses and hit that shot. 4 versus 4, the T's, Manajuma, have seized the site, and they are in pretty good position. They've smoked out every entrance, and they make it exceptionally hard. What was your... why? The bomb gets... why? Why? Irakanji was standing by himself out in the lobby with the bomb and didn't plant it. I'm perplexed. Frankly, my brain hurts. Tell me, you're the analyst, right? Maybe I'm overreacting. Is there a reason you do that?
Don't make me try to analyze this. All they can do right now, okay, let's just say all they can do right now to make up for the mistake they just made is to find a new way into lobby, not one that DayZ is expecting them to come from, and take advantage of his position. It can be, you know, you might expect him to be where he is now, so they might get the better of him. Miniker does. Yeah.
Well, 1 left, and this round is still salvageable, unless Swag goes A mode like you called it. 8-2, Manajuma wins it in a very, very hairy kind of round. The decision-making on Manajuma's part right now is, I'm going to use this word, is horrifying.
Yeah, and I mean, but they did pull that round out, so maybe he says something also about iBUYPOWER that is to be mentioned, considering they are doing so well, or were doing so well, that a lot of the rounds they have won were actually pistol rounds, or not pistol rounds, excuse me, pistol and eco rounds. So, you know, in terms of rifle rounds, the score is not that far apart.
Steel has pushed past the flashes, and he's not been flashed by a single one of them. If he comes in with a with a support player, like I was about to say, with a support player with a smoke out, he's surely going to get that kill. 2-2 on the trade, and for the most part on the T side, you have to feel pretty good about this because the level of map control when you're down by 2 players means that you've sacrificed outer vision or probably ramp vision. So
100%.
They have to like where they're going here, but they've got to really, really tight dump the ship. You know, the decision-making, the splitting, everything.
Yeah, they've got to have a change of pace. And it looks like D-Born's going to go for what Irakanji tried to do, and that's get into lower and free up ramp. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Yeah, he has enough time to do it. And he's taking advantage of the fact that they know no one's outside, but will he cross? Oh,
D-Born has. He's made it to the big garage with 50 seconds on the clock. He's got some time to work with, and Skadoodle might flick him. He's just too fast. D-Born had the drop on him, but if you only do 40 damage in body shots, surely Skadoodle will find you. 2 alive for Manajuma. They'll walk toward the ramp, and nobody controls this, but know that somebody is at lower, and I will illustrate that by showing you that AZK is waiting for them underneath.
Yeah, so they don't know that they were at ramp, but one of 2 places they're going to go is lower or into heaven.
This is a hard commit. With 20 seconds left, they'll have to charge AZK. Our number 2 is behind the silo, and he's been absolutely on fire. Trades out 1, 2 versus 1. It's Shroud versus, and surely the fans of the new and popular player thought that he could clutch 1 on 2. He does not. 9 versus 2. iBUYPOWER leads by 7.
Yeah, certainly not looking as sharp as we're used to. And you know, a hallmark of a good team is one that has players that can pick up for other players when they aren't doing so hot. And we have seen that on Manajuma, in their IGL, in their other players, you know, especially in their new one, Desi. And the only issue is that the score that really matters is the one at the top. And unfortunately, 9-2 means that they've got a lot of work to do so they can have a more comfortable CT side, which we've already seen them not do so well on.
They've just sprinted out, and Steel's above them with the swag. Nobody accounts for him, and he's doing work from the top of the hut, and that leaves only D-Born alive. He's stuck with a Glock. Trying to fight with no armor, 10-2. It's a throwaway eco round. How do you feel about throwaway eco rounds? Because we've seen 2 already from Manajuma.
Yeah, I mean, just don't, like, I say don't rush. I mean, especially on Nuke, where you'll likely lose more rounds rushing on T side, regardless of if you have bigger guns or not. So I think, like, play the picks, try to drop some guns, build up the confidence that you can catch players off guard, and then that'll give you a nice segue into the next round. You know, you got so much time on the clock. Don't just, you know, end it in the first 15 seconds. I just see that being as less effective.
Kanji throws a set smoke, perhaps to be a decoy at outer as they spread out for their lobby hold and hope that iBUYPOWER may get just a little bit aggressive to push through. They're underneath. D-Born has a kills, and the Sennheiser promoted Steel responds in kind with 2 Mag 7 kills. 3 versus 2. Shroud and D-Born versus. They're underneath. Well, one's underneath, and the bomb is close in tow. The decision making here is that we probably want to get to lower. We probably want to get this bomb plant, but the amount of time that we're taking probably means that we can't get down there safely, and just like we called it, it doesn't get down there safely. So D-Born has to improvise with a minute left. He's got a lot of time to work with, and this is where you start getting really, really creative on where to flank from.
Yeah, definitely. Although the issue is that you don't have the bomb, so now you're trying to get into a spot where they're not watching because they're watching where you could come for the bomb. But there are 2 players left and you have really low health.
Oh my god. Well, it was a courageous sort of thing. It was a creative sort of thing, but still, it just happened that Daze was watching in that particular direction. 11-2 Manajuma. They have 2 more to go, and a win out is clearly your best case scenario. If you don't have 3 for that pistol round buffer, is it already over?
I don't think so, but maybe against iBUYPOWER it is. Hard to say. But also, you know, another issue is that this is their map choice, and you would think that that means that they're more prepared on T side than anything else.
Swag is prepared. Yeah. Another throwaway eco, and he's got a double. Skadoodle joins in from behind him as a support op, and the bomb is now dropped. That means 1 player alive on top of the Big Rock. At least Miniker drops swag, and 12-2 is our current scoreline. iBUYPOWER, well, they're number 1 in North America. I guess that's what we've concluded.
Number 1 in North America, definitely. But a lot is to be said on CT side. The issue is that there's so much pressure on the pistol. There's so much pressure on this round. As 13-2 is far different than 12-3, as it's a lot. You're going to lose a lot less rounds on CT side typically, and so that means that the buffer that you have from 12 and 13 means that you're only either 2 or 3 rounds away from losing the whole game. You know, so if you win 4 rounds in a row, lose 1, you can only do that 3 times.
Let's talk about the human interest story, okay? You've been literally pounded by iBUYPOWER, and you've made some pretty rash mistakes that you cannot recover from. What is the atmosphere like in... Oh, look at the set pieces. Smokes for outer, and we have the take at outer. Sprinting through is Shroud and company, and the nade sails past. Think about that one for a second as we come back to it. We have a player charging through smoke. It's Desi who's through the garage, finds a retreating Skadoodle, does significant damage, and drops him 5 alive for the tease. And this is the round that they were really looking for, just very, very late in the game. Very, very late in the game.
Yeah, and Swag has a good flank on them too.
and AZK has an AWP, which is just making this so hard on them. Swag and AZK are now just pinching them in position. And they'll need Shroud to make a big play here. If he comes back out peeking, AZK may clip him with his AWP. He knows. He's calling for his teammate. He says, I'm pinned. There's an AWP watching me. And AZK knows that if he's not being peeked, surely he's calling for a teammate to come up underneath. Whoa. That's a shot that AZK wanted. He comes back for Shroud and may have a quad if he can just land this long distance one. Miniker and AZK face off. Remember, for those of you who are longtime CS watchers, AZK was an absolutely filthy opper in past games of Counter-Strike. A lot of missed shots going on right here as AZK monkey climbs down and re-engages, I should say, Miniker from the hell position. Miniker has given up that fight to go pick up the bomb. He runs back into the inner, breaks the vent, and then drops the lower. He'll plant and force AZK to come to him.
Yeah, suddenly his round to lose.
Flash and connect. Heartbreak for Manajuma. Always.
Jeez, 4K for the win. AZK, I mean, I would say he was in a terrible position up there in heaven. Obviously, Shroud had the great read of not peeking and forced AZK to engage somewhere else. But since he couldn't take him down, he ended up taking Shroud down and clutching that 1v2 with an AWP. Super unexpected. That's giant.
A quad for AZK, and yet we still don't really celebrate it because we are just experiencing lethargy for Manajuma. It's tough.
Right. I don't mean to be impartial, but in terms of the longevity of this cast and going to the third map and making it really exciting and just at least having a closer half in general, you don't want to see Manajuma giving up rounds like that where it's theirs to lose, right? But I'm sure you understand.
I do.
So in terms of what you said about the atmosphere of the team right now, I mean, I'd say I hope that they're past the point of experience where they would get down, being so many rounds down, and that they could play as if they were playing the first round all over again because of their experience. I mean, is that an issue of professional teams that you know your round deficit is getting to your head and it affects how you play?
I'm certain, and we can get the opinion of any pro that we ask out there. They're not immune to emotions, and certainly with momentum shifts like this, the chat can get quieted down. And unless you have a forceful sort of in-game leader that can kind of police you and say, hey, keep the comms up, tell me what's going on here, this sort of thing happens. Swag starts running over you, 3 versus 2, and it's Shroud and Desi to stop the bomb plant, or at least defuse the bomb after the bomb plant. Bomb is dropped. Here's the first rotator. It's Shroud. Gets the haircut, 14-2.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be the nail in the coffin. I'd say I wouldn't bet any amount of money that Manajuma had this, but if they did, I'd be shocked. And now it's going to be a full buy for them, which is part of the reason I say this, that they have to play from behind in terms of weapons, play from behind in terms of score, and therefore momentum, and therefore psychologically they're beaten down, and this is going to be really tough for them to hit these long-range shots that you would need to be in God mode for to hit, especially when iBUYPOWER is hitting those shots every single round, as you've seen.
Oh, Shroud hits a nice looking one though. Still, 1 on the exchange, and that's Steel who trades out Shroud. Then the next is Swag for Irakanji. They full bots iBUYPOWER has with only one P90 on the field. The rest had AKs because of the fact that they knew that this was a forced purchase situation for Manajuma. 3 versus 3, and Manajuma wants to recover a gun, but their kills are just out in space in such a way that they cannot. So that's unfortunate for them. Miniker, I think, has some idea that somebody has flanked them. Swag has been waiting for a long time here. Oh! Wow. A telegram sent for Miniker. It was 1 tap. Then another. Just utter violence from Swag, who has just been an aiming machine today. Desi's the last who drops down. And also is promptly swept under the rug by Swag. 15-2. This is out of control.
Yeah, no more than 8 deaths on the side of iBUYPOWER for any of them. So just yeah, absolutely beast mode. And that was Swag coming to top frag, not settling for 2nd place, and 4 headshots right there. .HSP.
I'm getting some information from our producers that we're losing a one caster due to technical difficulties or maybe circumstantial difficulties on netcode guides versus complexity. So I may be actually transferring over to play CEVO-3 after the conclusion of this match. So maybe we don't get to cast it here, or maybe maybe I bring them over here because this channel is slightly larger. We'll figure that one out in just a second. Don't you worry, folks. And if we have to continue casting it, then we'll do it ourselves. It would be a service to you, the viewers, who have not really been treated to a very good viewing for this match. 2 versus 3. AZK and Dazed take on Manajuma. Shroud trying to hit Deagle shots, misses it, but D-Born will clean up for him, and Dazed is the last in the squeaky, has his Galil and retreats smartly with a minute left and no bomb. He's not really forced to do anything, more like forced to just kind of pug it out, because what is he really afraid of?
Yeah, and no one's watching Heaven right now, so they gave up ramp and he's going for it. Hopefully they get the inkling here that he might have made a large rotate. Otherwise, if he gets Heaven control, there's a good opportunity for him to get 2 frags, as that high-low position gives you the aim advantage.
Daze gets tagged, is getting pushed back and forth as the monkey in the middle. And in most times, Manajuma feels good about this one, but there's still so much left to be done. 15-3. I have no extra comments besides 15-3. I was searching for positivity. I came up with not a lot, so you give me positivity.
Yeah. So they win. Yeah. They're on CT side. That's the most positive thing I could say. Your Kanji has a scout. Yeah. So I don't know. iBUYPOWER's on a save. All right. I'm coming out with stuff. I'm coming out with positive comments.
Good.
Like crazy.
I'm still listening, man.
I'm working. Let's see. D-Born is in the double digits.
Miniker's abs are still looking great.
All right, so it's looking up right now.
Things are grim. I think we painted that picture. Scout shot for Irakanji. Tags and Swag literally types out, "Ow, dude, really?" At this point, iBUYPOWER is playing loose and free. You can see it, like they were playing very, very stringent, perfect, supporting nades all the time, rifles all the time, and this now they're just free and loose because they are just convinced that it's just a matter of time before they win that next and winning round.
4 player. I mean, they're set to win this round.
They are set to win this round. Steel has 18 HP.
So, I mean, no bomb plant, right? I mean, that's good. They haven't been able to plant the bomb. I don't know how they won that second round by, but they did it. So they've got to win 11 rounds in a row. Honestly, not unheard of. Issue is that they've just lost 15 rounds, and they're playing from way behind, and iBUYPOWER is on a bye again. And they have to stop the plant all the time in order to keep these saves coming out and make that score a little bit closer. Now you're always thinking this is the last round that I can lose, so that's also another factor. But again, the good things, the positive, CT side. The bad thing is it's always a match point for you.
Certainly, a lobby hold for iBUYPOWER as they spray through trying to find some early damage through the walls and without the transgressions or the replies of the CTs. They'll just wait. They've lost that exchange in some ways. Swag has taken some damage down to 54 HP, and Daze has taken 33. Still 5 alive for both teams. You see not a ton of organization, as it seems iBUYPOWER is looking for that sort of a pick and roll and just make the decision after you get the kill sort of play.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an issue that Irakanji still has a scout. Even though I know he's trying to hold on to his economy, he doesn't get a kill, which would have been a kill with an op.
There's the trade in the ramp, and on the flank is Desi, who comes running through. The camera has trapped us, and we'll try to be in a more appropriate location. Swag engages, has a nade for Miniker, throws it. It will land right by him. It'll do 30 some odd damage. 2 alive for Manajuma, and the book may be closing on their upper bracket travels. They will fall to the lower bracket once they lose. Let me be too early, I hope. Let me be too early on this call, I hope. Certainly.
iBUYPOWER still taking them very seriously. Not just running around, showing them some respect here, and that's not undeserved. But in terms of score, they do have the rounds to risk. But yeah, 2v4 not looking like a round that they should lose, especially when taking it seriously.
Let me ask you again. power ranking?
It's the same. It's the same. Like I said, it's unclear what this would do in terms of them versus other teams because we don't know what iBUYPOWER is like versus those other teams as well. We've just seen them lose to Netcode.
No miracle comeback for Shroud. No miracle comeback for Manajuma. The game is over, and that means this series is over. 2-0. iBUYPOWER takes it, and they will walk on to the upper brackets finals, I believe. Let's check